Assalamualaikum. My name is Jamera Khalid and I will be reporting about the indigenous people education. So the Philippines is home to around on 110 indigenous peoples communities, approximately 15 to 20 million in population, more than 60% in Mindanao, 30% in Luzon, and 10% in Visayas. Varying in ways of life and cultural heritage, they share similar experiences of discrimination and marginalization. In 1997, Philippine government passed the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act or Republic Act 8371 that recognizes and protects the rights of indigenous communities. Its effective implementation, however, is still to be seen and asserted by indigenous communities. In year 1980s, the various forms of interventions done by indigenous people associations and religious congregations were any or a combination of the following: teaching basic literacy numeracy to children and adults based on mainstream approaches, methods, and content, provision of adult-based trainings based on mainstream approaches and content, provision of school supplies, scholarships, and tutorials, provision of infrastructure, personnel, curriculum evaluation tools, books, and school calendar based on mainstream education system. Reasons for education intervention are the following: the need to understand the system of transacting business in the marketplace, the need to read street signs, newspapers, and legal documents, and to vote and participate in activities outside their communities, the need for other livelihood options, and the need to access health services. Impact on mainstream school system: alienation of indigenous youth from their own communities, heritage, culture, and history, misuse and abuse of cultural practices and dying indigenous knowledge, systems, and practices, graduates or schooled youth leaving the community or abusing the ancestral domain, continued marginalization of communities, and dying spirit of tribe. Culturally sensitive educational interventions: indigenized formal education. It is the use of the local language when appropriate, as against the use of Filipino or English languages as the sole mediums of instruction. Discussion of concepts with local situations or examples, such as fermentation and winemaking, counting, and simple weaving. Inclusion of local knowledge in topics such as local identification system of animals and plants or land and water forms. Addition of underlying values like identity and self-determination. Addition of local topics to particular subjects such as indigenous musical instruments in music class aside from the usual instruments taught. Inclusions of elders or experts from the community as resource persons for some topics such as for indigenous musical instruments or weaving. Indigenized Alternative Learning Systems Curriculum. The ALS curriculum is applied to the indigenous education programs with innovations consisting of the use of indigenous learning and teaching techniques. The Santrong Paaralan ng mga Agta in Nakar, Quezon, under the support of the Prelature of Infanta, uses this curriculum. The indigenous people education has their own system. The community decides on their school's overall direction, management concerns, and key content that should be part of the curriculum. While financial resources usually come from benefactors and our funding agencies, the community participates in the setting up of the school and provides counterpart resources for the construction of school facilities like labor, food, and construction materials. Local materials are used in setting up the facilities like grass for roofing. Architecture of the school building is patterned after the indigenous architecture in the community. The management of the school includes the local organization of the tribe or community. Community disciplinary procedures are used in maintaining discipline among the students. Indigenous teachers are prioritized in selecting teachers. The curriculum design is based on the flow of community life in such a way that topics are discussed in direct relation to community activity cycles. Some communities modify the school calendar without decreasing the required number of school days to take into consideration local climate patterns, thus avoiding absences due to rains, flood rivers, and more. Indigenous materials are used as teaching aids as appropriate, and indigenous teaching and learning methods are incorporated as teaching methods. An education system appropriate to indigenous communities. Here are their philosophy: to instill mainstream competencies and learning processes and getting them assimilated in mainstream society. The end goals now are to nurture their sense of identity, indigenous personhood, and instill competencies and learning processes both from their system and the mainstream to enable them to assert their rights and self-determination. To reach these goals, indigenous peoples' education should be founded on the following: culture as process and product, history, life stories woven into the tribe story, woven into the bigger story of nation and the world. Heritage, a sense of being a descendant, an ancestor, spirituality, expression of faith, life, values, and beliefs. The indigenous people's education system. Indigenous communities have a system of education. Each tribe in the country has a system that started since time immemorial of transmitting knowledge and forming the youth to become responsible human beings. Learning is everywhere and at every moment. This is similar to the lifelong learning concept in education circles today. This indigenous education system that has been practiced for centuries has to be recalled by indigenous communities. In some tribes, learning venues or institutions are also present, like the Dapay for males and Ulug for females. These are venues for youth to gather and, in interaction with the elders, learn about community dynamics and practices. Indigenous peoples have a curriculum too. Indigenous peoples have a sequence of content and competencies to be taught based on the stage of growth of the person. Indigenous education therefore has a curriculum which varies depending on the situation of the tribe. Indigenous books and knowledge storage system. The elders are the repository of knowledge. Their memories, the library of indigenous communities. Knowledge is also stored in songs, chants, dances, rituals, and day-to-day activities of the tribe. Day-to-day living and the cycle of life of the community was the ultimate repository of knowledge, for it was in living the knowledge that its remembrance and storage were ensured. Another repository of knowledge is called cellular memory. One example is the competency, which evolved through the centuries of making rice terraces of indigenous communities of the Cordillera Mountains. Indigenous people have exams too. The elders see application of knowledge as the test in itself, with the outcome being the indicator of degree of knowledge gained. Depending on the tribe, there are indicators of mastery. The part of the body hit by a trap, for example, shows how skillful a Mangyan hunter is in making the trap. Another indicator of learning was the capacity to teach others. Some tribes have titles for the experts in their communities equivalent to today's master's and PhD degrees. Teaching learning strategies. Among tribes, there are some common teaching learning strategies such as demonstration, actual activity, apprenticeship, or specialized roles like healers and shamans, and direct instruction. The key concerns on indigenous people's education. There is a need to consciously affirm indigenous people's sense of personhood and reflection. Learning indigenous competencies does not necessarily translate into a deep sense of indigenous people's identity. The indigenous communities recognize the need to document IKSPs that are almost forgotten. So that would be the end of my report. Thank you for listening.